We're back for another edition of Motown Witch After Dark. I'm Yvette.
And I'm Mary.
It's been a minute. We had one that didn't go, it didn't save, so it was trash.
I know, oh man, it was good too, y'all. So we gonna try to recreate that tonight, although, last time we was listening to Prince, so we got distracted. So
yeah, it was probably meant to be distracted. It was meant to not save correctly because it was a hot ass mess. I told somebody who sit next to me that listening to Prince while we doing this is not gonna work. She ain't gonna listen to me.
No, I was like, oh yeah, I can do this in my sleep, no problem.
No.
Yeah, that didn't work. So today we are talking about what to expect and the different types of readings. So we're going to be talking about all things readings today. I'm going to start off with tarot because that's what I mainly do. Just some tips that when you're coming in for a reading, know the different types. Tarot reading is pretty straightforward. It has a lot of symbolism and things like that in it. A lot of people want a medium to read them, which is fine, but that's a little bit different than doing tarot. Mediums can talk to the dead. They're not the only ones, because when you talk to your ancestors, you're talking to the dead as well. But it's a different type of reading than tarot.
Although they're not mutually exclusive, and some tarot readers can still
do that. Yes, I'm going to be taking a class next Saturday that's supposed to help me do that, to give mediumship readings through tarot. So we'll see how that goes. That way when y'all come in and see me, I'll be able to cover all the bases. So tarot is it's a bit interactive, but please don't say too much. Don't sit down and tell me your whole life story because you're paying for a reading. So let me read. Let us read for you. Don't say too much. There may be certain questions I might ask you, like I might see that you're married, but I might ask you, how long you've been married or something like that. That's okay, but don't come in here and just vomit at the mouth and just start talking and telling me your whole life story. Then your reading's over and you're like, oh man, I didn't get to ask no questions. Well, I asked you at the beginning, do you have any questions that you want answered? Do you have anything specific you want to talk about? Now, another tip is to be open, because tarot may or may not bring up what you want to talk about. It's kind of like mediumship with that too, because just because you want your grandmother to step forward and speak to you, she may not feel like it that day. So father or aunt or whomever might step up instead with a message for you.
Spirit might just have a more pressing thing for you to pay attention to. It's not what you choose.
Yeah.
Because half the people are ignoring whatever they really need to be paying attention to.
That is very true. People do not want to face themselves. Or they don't want to face what they know to be true. I want so-and-so to come back to me. Is he coming back? No, he's not. And you will sit there and go, but
reshuffle those cards. That can't be right.
Yeah, reshuffle them, and then the same cards fall out. Well, girl, you need to shuffle again. I have shuffled until the cows came home. He ain't coming back. So just know that. He ain't coming back, y'all. Just let it go. And you need to let go. It doesn't take a tarot reading to tell you that. You already know the truth. You may be coming in for confirmation, and that's fine as well. But listen to that confirmation. Listen to your truth and act on it. Don't just keep saying, but but I love him. But we meant to be together, and I know he wants to talk to me even though we haven't talked in 10 years.
Meanwhile, there's more pressing issues. You got a health challenge. You got something to do with your kids. You got something else to do. So, anyways, moving along to the next thing, because that has turned into a whole nother ball of wax. So, there's other things to read.
There's other things to read. It's not just, is he coming back?
No, I mean other forums. Like Michelle Jackson and the bone reading.
Yeah,
I've gotten readings from her. I tried to learn that. I just don't ever see a story. Me looking at things and seeing stories, it just don't work.
It just don't work.
Don't work.
But you see stuff. You read off people. Like you'll get a message like when you're addressing a candle sometimes.
But that's so organic. So because it's organic, that's not something I can say. Come see me and get a reading.
Yeah, no.
Because it's organic. And
right.
I'm dressing someone's candle. Next thing I know, their person is standing behind me telling me some shit in my ear. And I tell them what I just heard. Now, next thing I know, they're crying.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm. That's
something that just happens with me. That's nothing that I've learned to control.
That you can just control, turn on and off when you feel like it.
It just happens.
It just happens. Yeah. And then there's, Angie, who also reads here, does charms. So, there's all different types of readings you can do. Like she was saying with bones and shells and curios. And
some people read caraway shells. Some people read coconut shells. Pennies.
Yeah. Yep.
Pennies. Pennies.
I know Ifa uses the Odu. Does that use the cowrie shells?
That's like with the coconut shells.
That's with the coconut shells. Okay. There's
someone who has pieces of skull.
Pieces of skull?
They read with pieces of a skull.
Wow. Now that would be an interesting reading. That would be really
That's an interesting person.
Yeah.
I have something to say about that person. But yeah, I mean, you got tribes that read goat entrails and everything. So I think anything can be read if you have that particular gift. Like Yasmina was going to teach me the tea leaves before she passed.
Oh, okay.
So the tea leaf thing. But like I said, I have a tendency not to see the story. It's like when the other crystal tried to teach me the cards, and she's telling me that there's a story in the tarot cards. This leads to this.
It leads to that, and to that.
It sounded so nice, and then I left her house, and it's like, look, trees. I don't know what she said.
You're like, oh, look at the pretty flowers.
Don't have a clue what the fuck she said after I left that house.
Right.
She lived 10 minutes away from me, and by the time I got home, I don't remember nothing she said. Not one thing.
Not one thing.
So those story things don't work for me. I can't do things like that. My pendulum is my friend. I use my pendulum when I have to.
Yeah, that's a really good tool, especially for quick answers to things. I'll often pull out my pendulum for yes or no answers.
It's good for confirmation.
It's good for confirmation. So back to what I was saying about it being tarot being interactive, and it may or may not bring up the subject you wanted to talk about, brings up things that are more pressing. Now, I may be prepared to ask questions that may come up. If I'm on the right track, I may ask you if it resonates with you. You can say yes or no. If it's a no, we'll put it aside. We're not going to take it off the table because it came up for a reason. So just know that. And it may bring up some sensitive subjects that you might not want to talk about. For instance, I had a young lady who ended up in tears because she wanted to know about love or money or something, and it brought up her relationship with her sister instead, which was a really challenging
something that
situation.
wasn't being faced.
Yeah, something that wasn't being faced, and the cards were like, you gotta face it. Here it is, right in your face. And she ended up in tears, and, you know, I helped her through it the best I could. But yeah, she was like, that is so not what I wanted to talk about. And I'm like, yeah, I understand. I said, but this is what the cards had to say. Didn't say anything about love, didn't say anything about money. It wanted to talk about her sister and their unresolved issues. So it does bring up sensitive subjects that you may not, you know, have been prepared for. So I would say come prepared that might happen. The other thing is make the most of your time. If you know that you have 30 minutes of questions, be prepared to pay your reader for 30 minutes of their time. Yes. I get a lot of clients who want to do a 15-minute reading, and then they try to stay for the next half an hour, 45 minutes, telling me, you know, well, what about this? What about that? Well, how, you know, and then another thing. And I'm like, do you want to continue? No, we don't need to continue. But I just had this one question.
That's the okie doke. That's how a lot, and honestly, that's how a lot of the people y'all get end up coming back there, because they try to pick my brain that way from the beginning, and it's like, well, no,
it's not working.
No, perhaps you need a reading, sweetheart. No, you want me to solve your issue? No,
nope, it's not gonna happen.
Most people don't like what I have to say anyway, so.
But a lot of people love what you have to say. They're like, I like Yvette because she's real. And she stands there like, okay, I just put the ball back in your court. You know, it's your issue. You need to resolve it. So, you know, take the steps you need to resolve it.
Just face it.
Yeah, face it.
A lot of things start with just facing it. A lot of things don't need a candle, don't need a reading, don't need nothing. You just need to face your shit.
Yeah.
And you want to ignore your shit and focus on Craig. Craig ain't got nothing to do with this shit. Fuck Craig, leave Craig over there and handle your shit. Handle your stuff. And that's where a lot of the so-called issues, which aren't issues, come into play. It's like the lady who said she needed to cleanse her house. She has bad energy in her house. I said, well, get rid of the fuck tires that's in your house.
Yeah.
And she looked at me and busted out laughing. And then she looked at her friend, and her friend goes, well, you know. And I'm like, well, put the idiots out. She goes, yeah, but they just show up. That don't mean you got to open your door.
That don't mean you got to open the door.
I think you don't have to open your door. You don't have to. I said, who pays the bills in your house? I do. Well, then you get to say who comes in your house. I don't understand that. That's just not something I understand.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know.
No, you're right. They do need to face their shit and do what's obviously right in front of their face to do.
Sometimes you just got. Best example I have of something like that would be growing up in Hamtramck. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody know back in the day. I ain't talking about Hamtramck these days. Everybody know everybody. Everybody knows where everybody lives. So at that age group, everybody likes to hang out and drink. So at like 21, 22, everybody keeps coming to my house. Everybody wants to hang out. Everybody wants to drink. Well, I'm downtown out of a job, and I'm trying to be corporate. And I can't be up to 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and be on time at work and be aware. I can't do this. So no one wants to listen to me. So my way of handling it, because back then you could not answer your door. They gonna stand on your porch. They're just not going to be not intrusive. They're not. Okay. So I moved.
You were like, I know how to take care of this.
I moved to Hazel Park. Nowadays, for whatever reason, I don't know how these 40 years make a big difference, but back then, Hazel Park seemed so far from Hamtramck. And my friends weren't coming all the way to Hazel Park. I moved.
Yep, you took care of that issue.
That's not a candle. That's not a nothing. That's just handling the shit. Because nobody will listen, so fine, fuck it.
Right. So that's that. That's how that works. But yeah, if you don't face it, I'm not a big advocate of you coming in for a reading every week. Because again, like Yvette said, you should face your shit. If you haven't faced your shit last week, don't come to me this week thinking that the cards are going to change, because it's uncanny, but this happens. Those same cards will come out because nothing has changed. You haven't done anything different. You haven't faced your shit. So you're going to get the same reading this week that you had last week. So don't come for a reading every week. Maybe quarterly, that kind of thing, unless something really, different happens. Then you could come into, for another reading because you have another subject that you want to talk about. And again, be open, because it may not want to talk about that subject. But yeah, if you don't face your shit, it's not going to change in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Until you are able to face yourself, face the truth, nothing's going to change. A reading won't change that. A candle won't change that. A bath won't change that. Nothing's going to change that. You have to change it in order for things to work. Now, those things that I just mentioned are tools to help you focus your intention so that you may be inspired to make a change. But nothing's going to make you do anything. You have to just fess up and do it. That's just the way it is. So, you got any input on that?
I have nothing, because everything I have to say sounds so terrible. It's just that.
Oh, come on! Don't be terrible. Come on! I like terrible, Yvette.
I'm getting over the cooties, so excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
I just never seen. I guess the way things are nowadays, I just never seen it like this, where this lack of accountability is so huge, and I'm seeing you guys having the same people every week, or sometimes twice in a week, come in and pay for readings. And it's like, so that's like asking everybody, I think I need this shit. Do I need this shit today? Can you tell me if I need this shit today? That's retarded to me. But I'm not even supposed to say that. So, I mean, it just, I don't understand. I don't, this hand holding, I need to buy a new couch. Should I buy a new couch? I don't get that. So, I mean, I don't know. That self-accountability
is missing.
It's hugely missing. And it's like, for instance, the guy who came in, the last guy who came in, he picks up the Domination candle. What is this for?
For
domination. For dominating what? It's like
exactly. It's like,
what do you want to dominate? What is it that you're trying to dominate? You picked up the candle, so what are you trying to dominate? Oh, I just wanted to make sure.
It says domination. It's self-explanatory. But
it's that kind of mentality. It's that hand-holding thing.
Yeah.
You need your hand held to tell you every little tiny thing.
Mm-hmm.
I have this. Did I do this right? Should I do this? Am I not supposed? And it's like, I tell people all the time, I don't should on people.
No.
Because what works for me might not work for you.
Exactly.
So if you come in and tell me this is how you did this and it worked for you, well then, yay, do it your way. Don't come in for reassurance. Oh, well, did I do it right? Did it work for you? Yeah, well then why are you here?
Mm-hmm.
No, there was no reason to ask me that. It worked for you. So therefore, it's like people asking me about the cut and clear stuff. I can tell you what I've heard.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what I've read.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you what I've gotten from other people over the years about it. I've never had to personally do it.
Right.
Why? Because I don't hold on to people like that. I don't have to do a fucking cut and clear. I don't understand that.
Right.
But I'm telling you, I've given you your answer.
Yeah, here's your answer.
I'm telling you what I've heard, what I've read, what I've talked to with other practitioners.
Right.
I've never had to do a cut and clear. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I don't understand that.
Right. But yeah, they do come in asking. They want you to fix their lives, and this is not the place to come to fix your life. This is to give you tools to help you.
You can get the tools, but you have to do it.
You got to do the work.
You have to do it. And you also have to understand that spirituality in general, whether you're following a religious path or not, whatever it is, well, I can't, but anyway, however you're doing it, it's a lifestyle. You can't turn it on and off. If you do, then the shit don't work. And then you show up here later talking about, well, I did this and nothing ever happened, but you did this and then you went on back to doing some fucktard shit. Well, no, it doesn't work that way. No. It's like the one girl, cut back to the cut and clear. She wanted to cut and clear. In a conversation with her, I'm looking at her and I said, well, shit, you need to stop sleeping with him. And her girlfriend bust out laughing. And I'm like, well,
what do you want me to say?
You're still attached to him. Y'all are still exchanging juices. And
right.
Then you tell me,
so how you going to cut and clear that if you still sleeping with him?
She insisted on it, so fine. You want a $30 candle? Here you go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because some people will insist on buying something. And Yvette's not the type of owner that is just eager to sell you whatever because, whatever. A lot of the advice that she gives is warranted, because they're asking the question. But she's not just in here like, okay, please buy this book, buy it now, you really need it. She'll tell you, you don't need shit, you just need to face your shit. She'll tell you that real quick.
Or go home and clean or whatever it is.
Go home and clean, get you some bleach, whatever. But some people will, but I need a candle, or I need something, I need a reading, I need a bath, I need something. And it's like, okay, well, we have this, and this, but you still need to do the work on yourself. And they don't want to hear that.
No.
They just don't want to hear it. So, they come, they get readings confirm. Usually they confirm what Yvette's already told them. Because, and I, unbeknownst to me, she'll already told them something, and they'll come to me, pay for a reading, and I tell them much of the same thing, maybe a little extra. And, I'm grateful to help, grateful for the exchange of energy in the form of money, yes. But, and then after the reading, after they're gone, Yvette like, well, I told them such and such. And I'm like, what? What they come to me for? I don't know. So yeah, it will confirm what you already know. And the other thing I would say is don't lie. And I know I'm just saying that and y'all ain't gonna listen to me, but don't lie to your reader, because the cards are gonna tell it. They're gonna come out and be like, somebody's lying. And you're going to sit there and blink at me, and I'm just going to look at you and go, okay, somebody's lying. Because that's what the cards say. Somebody ain't telling the truth. So it's easier if you just don't lie to your reader. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. I always think of people who lie as them being scared of some reaction. Because it's like, why lie?
But they lie to themselves anyway, so hey,
that's true.
A lie's a lie's a lie.
I guess so, because I'm like, what are you scared of? Why can't you tell the truth? Tell the truth, shame the devil. Go on and tell the truth.
You know, I have no patience for liars. So
no, I don't really have patience for it either. The other thing, there are some like superstitions around the cards and around divination systems. For instance, with the cards, it's like, do you touch or not touch the cards? It depends on the reader. I don't mind people touching my cards because I have crystals that clean them in between, that takes that energy and neutralizes cards for the next person. So I don't really go by that. But there are some people who are like, ooh, I can't touch the cards. It's not right, or it's, you know, or that the cards have to be gifted to you, or the divination system has to be given to you, that you can't buy them.
I think that's old-timey before the internet, before everybody had them in stores.
I'm thinking that must be it. Because it's like, no, there's so many decks and oracles and all that stuff out here that you need to explore and see what calls to you, whether it's charms, cards, bones, shells, and curios, all those things. Shout out to Mambo Tanya, because I'm kind of like Yvette in that when Mambo Tanya does the bones and charms and stuff, and her readings are so accurate. She does them for each zodiac sign, and they're so accurate, and the table is so pretty, and all the charms are pretty, and I have no idea what I'm looking at. No. And she'll say, the demon head is right here, and it's in your spell sector, and all this, and she'll just break it down, and I'm like, wow.
I'm gonna get it one day though.
One day.
My things always change. I mean, because Michelle Jackson started me, so she started me with a few charms or curios, whatever. And I had the bones. I had a few other things. She told me what to do, and yeah, no.
Now it worked when we had the Hoodoo Festival one year, and she was teaching. We were all in class, and she led us through a reading, and we all pretty much got it. We were all like, oh yeah, you okay, I see what you... As soon as I left, much like you, I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah, I done tried with her a couple times, like, I'm gonna get this, and I never do. But I don't think I don't know, my brain shutting it all down, because they already see I rock, I move, I look at this, so shutting it all down to do that's what that takes to be. I think I would have to shut down a whole lot. Yeah.
And you're too busy for that, because you're always moving. You're always doing something. You can't sit still.
Well, nothing will get done.
True.
That's the thing. I mean, today I unpacked boxes, put up merchandise, and was cooking all at the same time.
All at the same time. Yeah. Because, she's right. Nothing would get done. Nothing would get done if she didn't do it. But I've seen you try to be still. And she'll sit there and she'll rock, and she'll start fidgeting, and she'll be like, fuck it, I gotta get up and do something.
Which is why, to relax, I have to be somewhere else on vacation or something, because if I just take the day off here and stay at the house,
I'm going
to reorganize a closet. I'm going to do something. I got challenges. I've been this way forever, which is why all those years in my earlier years, I was on a cruise. I was on an island. I was somewhere, because if I stay at home, I'm going to decide, let's paint the kitchen. So, yeah.
Yeah. That's how she is. So, I like to be busy too, though. I really do. I like, But I get tunnel vision like you saw today. I was working on my website, y'all, and I was trying to figure out how to publish it and how to make the changes to it and all that kind of stuff using WordPress and all this. I have no clue what I'm doing, y'all. So y'all reach out to me in the comments below and be like, I can help you.
Yeah, I had to check on her because she was sitting in one spot forever.
I was like, sitting in one, and that's not usually me. I'm usually out here helping customers, drumming up, business and things like that. And I was just right here. I wasn't connecting until Yvette was like, "You all right?"
Yeah, it was like 3:30. I'm like, "Whoa, hey!"
And I came out and I helped a young lady, and she ended up getting a reading. And so I was able to help her, and because I like helping people, I really do. And because this is not something that I do to get rich. It's not. It's more about me helping people. Now I know don't get me wrong, there are readers who can bring in some revenue. They can do that. But I'm just here for whoever comes to me, and then if I cannot help you, I will refer you to someone else or refer you to a professional if you need one, because some things we're not able to resolve. If you're seeing demons and you're hearing voices, I'm not saying you're not, but I always like to tell them to make sure and I know this is going to be like, Yvette's going to be like, bullshit, but I'll be like, see a doctor, make sure nothing's going on, because I'm not a doctor, I cannot advise you on what to do. But I'm not at the same time judging you for your experience, because your experience is very real.
There's no judgment here.
No.
But what you just described is something that happened one of the days that you aren't here.
Oh, okay.
And she hears, and her mother hears, and they're hearing voices, and they're hearing all kind of shit, and things are happening in their home.
Mm-hmm.
So we advise them to cleanse the home. We advise them to cleanse themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Because she hears so much, we said, in talking to her, it's like you're very open. So she does the baths. Her mother's not in the house anymore.
Okay.
She does the baths. Her child does the baths.
Mm-hmm.
We advise her to cover her head.
Okay, because she's so open.
She's so open, and the last couple times she's come in, she has her head covered, and she says a lot of it has calmed down.
That's good.
And now she can discern a few the differences in things, and it's like, okay, see, so that's what I'm saying. So just going through all the steps, and because there is no judgment,
right?
So
yeah.
Mary said I'm gonna say bullshit because doctors irritate my ass hairs.
They do.
But
they really do. They really do.
I mean, some people might have a mental diagnosis, or a medical. Some people might have some type of a diagnosis. That is true. Mm-hmm. But at least by the time they get to that, we've exhausted all other possibilities.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I wanted to talk a little bit about mediumship. Up until recently, because I'm learning that you can do mediumship with cards or with divination. But previous to my new knowledge, it's like, do you want a mediumship reading or do you want a tarot reading? Now, as I told you, I'm going to be learning next Saturday how to do both.
So you're going to ask that to see which one they want?
Yeah.
But you do know that most people don't understand the difference. So
yeah, so the difference to me is mediums can read your energy and can often contact loved ones who have passed on or ancestors, cultural ancestors. Some can even communicate with animals. They can, communicate with pets and things like that.
I don't need nobody digging up my dog that I grew up with.
No, that's Pet Cemetery. You don't bring them back. You don't bring them back. You really don't. Some read with cards, some don't. But mediums will often read you without cards, and many people prefer those types of readings.
Those are sometimes some of the best readings.
So yeah, those are, because you had a reading like that, where the guy you said he held your hand?
He just held my hand.
Yeah, he just held her hand and told her stuff that nobody could have known.
Told my life things I've never repeated to anyone.
Right. So that's the type of reading that a lot of people want. And I'm trying to get there, but I'm not there yet. Not there yet, but I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. But that's the difference with the medium to me, is they're more energetically open. Not that you're not open with tarot readings, but tarot is like a system. It has its own system, and it has general messages that go with the cards. Although some people will read cards, they'll have no idea what that story says.
Because they're going by their intuition.
But they go by their intuition.
And that's what I'm about to say. Instead of, I would suggest, lightly suggest, that instead of asking them to make that difference, just make that one whole reading. And because as you learn to tap in, you're gonna I think you're gonna end up looking at the cards differently.
Yeah.
And you'll get a different kind of a message. Tanya, when Tanya reads with cards,
she goes
in, so it's that tapping in.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's a person that used to be a part of the circle, Amberzine. She was a hell of a medium. She has messages from no one else but my father, and telling me stuff about my dad that no one else knew. Okay. So some people can just tap in. So mixing it, now I don't want to call it mixing it, but it being the umbrella, it being what it is. So as you're doing the cards, the story of what the book says that shit is. Right. But sometimes it ain't about what the book says that shit is. It's about what's coming to you. And now you might see that picture that means this. That picture might morph into something else.
Yeah, that's true. And then I have some clients who maybe never had a tarot reading. Okay, maybe never had a reading, but they'll come in and they'll see a card, and they'll point out something that I didn't even see. They'll be like, look at that key right there. That key is saying something. And I was like, oh, okay, well, what's the key saying to you? Teach me something. So, a lot of times, like you said, that picture will morph into something else. But you're right, it is all about tapping in. Because sometimes my left brain takes over, and I'm like, okay, it has to be logical. But then my right brain says, no, it doesn't have to be logical.
In my political correctness, we'll try not to say fucked up words. In my political correctness, not using the Western frame of mind with it. Going from here, as opposed to the Western. Excuse me.
The Western.
Yes.
Yeah. The Western system can be a fuckery, and sometimes it fucks with me because it'll, my brain go, that's not logical. But we'll be right back, and I'm just going to keep talking to y'all for a minute. But yeah, you have to think outside the box and try to get more into your right brain or tap in. For those of you who are interested in doing readings and things like that, because sometimes I do get clients who come in for readings for confirmation, they already read, but they feel like they're too close to a situation, or they feel like they need more clarity, or they need somebody, another opinion or another perspective or whatever, and that's fine. I've even taught some folks how to read, and then we've compared reading styles and things like that. Nothing wrong with that. It's a life learning. Divination is a lifelong learning process. Look, Yvette's back. So yeah, it is. There's a lot to it, and there's a lot to learn, and I'm always learning more about it, and trying to be a better reader for my clients. Not that I don't think I'm good, because I'm pretty good. I had a guy come in, what was it, last week, and he goes, "How accurate are you?" And I was like, "I got return clients if that's what you..." Well, you know how you see people on YouTube and they always say I'm 100% accurate, and I'm like,
nobody's 100% anything.
No, you may have something that says you might be completely off the track with a customer, and for some reason you just cannot hit on what it is they want to talk about. But then what happens is, after you read for them and it was difficult for you, they'll say, "Oh, you hit on this, this, and this," and then they'll want to tell you the life story. And you're like, okay, our time's up.
Some folks just like being contrary, though.
Yeah, some people do like being contrary. That's true. That is true. Also, I wanted to say that tarot and mediumship, or any type of reading, does not interfere with your faith. Whatever that is, whatever your path is, it doesn't interfere with that. So for all of you that have been watching the movies and, oh my God, I pulled the devil card, so he must be a foot. It's not that. It is a tool for you to get insight into yourself. If you don't see it, 9 times out of 10 you do see it. You do end up just getting clarity and confirming that you need to do your shit. But that 10th time, we can try to work through your challenges, which I try to do anyway. But the cards help me, but I do aim to one day not read the cards. I want to be able to hold somebody's hand. Well, I don't like touching people really, but I might hold a hand.
Well, I've had someone read me once with a glass of water.
Oh wow.
There was something else.
Fire? I've heard people read the flames.
Oh, I see all kind of shit in flames. I'm a pyromaniac.
Yeah.
Bonfires make me happy. I see all kind of shit in there. But there was something else that was different though. But the glass of water was interesting. I went to a reading party.
Okay.
Someone had a thing at their apartment.
Okay.
And she put the glass of water there. Let's just start talking. When I walked in the room, I sat down. She asked me a couple questions, like birth dates or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
She just started telling me. I'm like, okay.
All right. This works. Yeah, but people that read just off you are, in my opinion, rare. A lot of them have passed on. And, it's a gift to be able to do that, and totally worth the experience if you do find a reader that can just sit there and talk to you and tell you your life story without you having repeated it ever to anyone. That is, in my opinion, a rare experience nowadays, because we got a zillion tarot readers. We had a guy come in here and he goes, I'm starting my YouTube channel, and which tarot deck would you recommend I get? And I'm like, you don't already know? I mean, if you're a tarot reader,
it's amazing.
Shouldn't you know what deck to get?
It's amazing, those kind of stories with, like I said, the people who come in and 6 months later they're doing work for other people. When you came in six months prior, you knew nothing. You're asking me what everything is. You don't have a clue what anything is. And 6 months later, you're doing work for people.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you got clients now. Okay, all right.
You got clients. Yeah.
More power to them. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, the people that they're working with, because like I said, this is a whole different generation. This is a whole different breed of people out here right now.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true.
I just, hey,
to each his own.
do your thing.
Do your thing. But yeah, that was the strangest thing to me was, yeah, I'm starting my YouTube channel and I need a tarot deck. Do you know how to read one? No.
But he's gonna figure it out on the fly.
He's gonna figure it out on the fly.
He's gonna figure it out on the fly, and he's gonna go with it, and he's gonna have customers and clients and everything, and that's how it. I'm telling you,
that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. And then what ends up happening is that something gets fucked up along the way, and now here comes somebody crying to me.
Yeah.
On my answer machine in the middle of the night when I come in the morning, listen to the answer machine, like, okay, here we go, because now your shit's all fucked up because JoJo over there who just learned something yesterday.
Right, is an expert.
Is your worker. So
exactly.
That's like, I don't know. I know I probably seem to have a lackadaisical or laissez-faire attitude about it, but I mean, because you can't make people listen.
No.
And I don't know, a little knowledge goes a long way, it seems. So if you learn this means you know that much more, and it's like, no, that's not how it works. Some of the stuff you learn, it takes time to even know if what your shit is doing really works. It takes a minute. And you never stop learning. No one knows everything.
No.
It doesn't exist. No one knows everything. That's fucking impossible.
Right.
So,
but you can't tell some of these folks that.
Absolute. Just,
yeah, you can't tell them that. They just.
So in order,
they know everything.
Instead of me getting frustrated, I just leave it alone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, congratulations, good luck with your thing, whatever. They come buy their supplies for me, so yay for me.
Right.
Keep it moving, because there's nothing for me to say. I can't say, do you think you're ready? Because obviously you think you are. Right. That's why you're doing it. So
right. So there's nothing else to be done there. Let's see.
Mary and her notes.
I'm an expert.
Lord.
I'm an expert.
I did a herbal tea before we started this, so this got all this stuff moving up and around, so that's why I had to go run away, because that was not sexy.
It's important to be sexy on camera.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah.
Not be hacking up a lung and coughing up weird stuff.
People be like, did you see that?
Yeah, right? This is a 70s song. Dude, you know.
Yeah. 70s song. Lord. So, the other thing I wanted to mention is that folks who come in wanting to know which Orisha has their head, tarot reading is not going to do that.
No.
There are several things you need to.
But my friend is spiritual, and she told me Oshun was on my head. She's real spiritual. She pulled the cards, and she's real spiritual, and she pulled the cards and told me that Oshun was who got my head.
Nope.
Oshun and Yemiya.
Oshun and Yamuna.
Yeah, these are things I've heard. Yes.
Okay. All right. No, it
Tarot's
doesn't work that way.
It's not going to show you which Orisha or which Loa. You're not going to get any of that from tarot.
No. You need to see a Ianifa or a Babalao.
Or Ugan or a Mambo.
Okay.
And yeah, no one's going to tell you that like that over the phone and with all of that nonsense. No.
No. So don't come to a tarot reader thinking you're going to find that out, because you're not.
My thing is, though, for those who want to know, it's like, do you...
Well, they watch Beyonce's Lemonade.
Well, I love Beyonce's Lemonade. And I'm not even a Beyonce fan, so to speak. Not like that, anyway.
Right.
But the Lemonade was everything to me. But at the same time, when I found out who was on my head was because I was researching the Orisha. This is like 20-some years ago.
Okay.
I was researching the Orisha, and I was looking at that being my path.
Okay.
So that was my whole reasoning.
For looking at
it.
Right.
And then a friend of mine paid for me to get a head reading as my birthday present.
Oh, okay.
That's how that started.
Okay.
And then a year later, I found a Babalawo that I started working with, and we started me on my path. And he gave me a reading which totally solidified what the first person said. Now, ironically enough, after I left all that alone because of reasons that are just my reasons,
right?
And I went the voodoo way. What they told me, the Loa that were with me, they told me it sort of kind of went hand in hand with what they said about the Orisha, with similarities between the two religions, and it's like, wow. So, okay, that is me totally.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
So it made sense. It made sense across the board in both traditions. So like, okay, but like I said, these were priests and priestesses on both sides that did this at those times, and I only found out because I was going that way, not because I was just curious. Now let's sit down and make cinnamon toast. No, this is because I was going that. I was cinnamon toast. I mean, because folks it's like, ooh, look, this on my. It's like a conversation piece. Who on your head? This one on my head. You know, all that. That's not what this is. No. So there's no purpose in doing it if you're not gonna take it further. I think that's just my personal opinion, though.
Yeah, but people don't think ahead.
It's a conversation piece. It's something to talk about.
Yeah, like you said, it is. Hey, who are your godparents?
Right, or not even who are your godparents. Who's on your head?
Who's on your head?
I'm Oshun.
Are you really?
Then that kind of nonsense.
You work with Oshun, but does Oshun work with you? That's the question you might want to ask.
That's amazing.
It is amazing.
That's amazing.
It is. It really is. So, those are my notes, folks. You got anything else you wanted to?
I don't know, talking my super sexy voice that's recovering. It's the voice of mine.
Yeah.
It sounds much better than it yesterday, though. So.
Yeah. But, you know.
I got somebody's cooties, but I went to the Ohio Players Saturday.
That was a good concert.
Yeah. Could have been longer, but they're old.
Yeah, they're old.
We had to come to peace today because they didn't sing "Sweet Sticky Thing," but
oh man,
that's the only thing that they didn't do. But I mean, they kept the one brother kept pushing the fact that there's no recorded tracks up here. This is all these musicians are playing these things, so this is all of us. And you think these dudes are all in their 70s and 80s, so it's like, yeah. Ooh. So they played almost a whole hour and a half. That was that.
Okay,
they had enough.
They were like, okay, we gotta go.
They just got up and walked. They left. They just left.
They just.
It was like the song was over, and it was like, okay, good night, Detroit. And we was all sitting there like, oh, we know something else is coming.
Right. And nothing else came.
Nothing. And because I was in the second row, so I wasn't looking back there. Then when I finally looked behind, I saw the house lights was on. I'm like, oh shit, this really is over. This is done. This is a wrap. So,
yeah. Well, at least you had a good time, though.
Yeah, what is this? This is, so what I got now. I think I don't have concerts in the month of October, do I? I don't think so.
No?
I think Kiss.
Kiss is in October.
Kiss.
Is it?
I don't know, shit.
Or
I got my ticket. That's all I know.
Okay, well, she got a ticket, y'all. That's all
I know is I got my ticket.
That's
for their 1300th farewell tour. I know Metallica's November.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Kiss is November or October. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's the end of my concert budget for the year, though. That takes me into the end of the year.
Yeah. Well, you had a good run.
I had a good summer. It was a decent summer.
You had a good summer.
And Metallica makes it better, though, because Five Finger Death Punch and Pantera, one of them 2 days, each one of those people. So I would probably sound much worse than this.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Probably. But it'll be worth it, though.
It'll be worth it.
And she'll have some new T-shirts to show y'all. Mm-hmm.
I get to be teenage Yvette for a few hours.
Yep, you do.
And kick, scream, and stomp, and get out all the frustration that these people that come in here asking me stupid shit all day make me crazy. I get to go stomp it out. That's my stress relief.
Yep, that's it. So I recently got a Bluetooth speaker. I love that thing.
Oh, that you can walk around with your tongue?
Yeah, I'm like, this is nice.
That's what I have.
A nice little boom sound to it.
Yep, that's what helps me here in the daytime before I open. You know, I'm here like a couple hours before I open, so I put something on and I have the speaker usually in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get to walk around the store and do what I do. It's still here.
Nice.
It works. I like that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It makes a difference. Every little tiny little nuance helps.
Yeah, it does.
Whatever helps you through your day.
Yep, whatever helps.
Hot coffee and good music.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
A little Jack Daniels in the coffee sometime, but.
Well, hey, spice it up.
Whatever it takes. So we're at the end of this because I can't think of any other forms of divination right now.
No, there's so many. It's a lot, y'all. It's a lot.
I mean,
you can pretty much read. People read things in the sand. They make sticks. You know, all kinds of things.
The goat entrails intrigue me.
Yeah, that would intrigue you. That would intrigue you, yeah, because you'd be like, ooh, that's
intriguing. But yeah, I don't know. One of these days, I might master this whole bone situation.
You might.
I don't know. I'm not really pressed.
Nah, I don't think that's on your top of your list right now.
So it's not. No. I mean, I think I talk enough, though. I mean, I counsel enough. That's enough in itself. Mm-hmm. And then the messages that come to me when I dress a candle and use smoke, that's enough. Because I get tired of people come standing up on me and all up on me, and then my neck is stiff, and then I got the chills on the other side of my face, and yeah, that'd be enough.
That'd be enough. Absolutely.
I'm enough of a
yeah.
Anyways, all right, y'all. We gonna end this one.
Okay.
And talk to y'all next time. Oh wait, Mary is a certified life coach now.
Yay! I am a certified transformational soul coach.
Transformational soul?
Transformational soul coach.
Why is it called that?
Because it is more spiritually based than just your regular life coaching. And I'm not throwing any shade on life coaching, but this has a more spiritual bent to it. It is focused on the soul and the soul's elevation. Yes.
I'm sorry, I'm not laughing at you.
She's laughing.
I just thought about Meg's husband told me I had a black soul, so I just thought, okay.
What kind of crap? A black
I was
soul.
like, can you help those of us with a black soul?
We can help you with a black soul. It's not an issue. But yes, I am a certified coach now. So if you need my services, I have cards up here at the Motown Witch, or you can get one of my tarot cards. It's the same phone number.
Because you're working on your site.
Because I am working on my website right now. It's published, but there still needs to be some tweaks.
Do you have a domain name though?
Yep, lovesgrandchild.com.
There you go.
Yep.
All right, free commercial. Boom. Bada boom, bada bing. See y'all next time.
All right, take care.
If you like our content, like and subscribe, and click on the bell for notifications. If you're in the Detroit area, stop by and see us. We're open 7 days a week, or visit us at our website, www.motownwitch.com. Thanks.